welcome back to another episode of Tandem Fandom's War with Words. I'm Mick.
I'm Courtney.
And we are going in to what will become one of the biggest pay-per-view events in wrestling history, at least for WCW.
That's right, Bash at the Beach, 1996.
A date that lives in infamy. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Monday Night RAW and WCW Monday Nitro. I like how Nitro opened with DDP being angry. Someone stole his ring.
Yeah,
that was
pretty
great.
Good quality stuff because DDP brings it. I have any chance to see Mean Gene, I'm happy.
Yeah, Mean Gene is...
You're like, I didn't take it.
What are you doing to me? And, like, that was the best part. The patting everybody down and checking them, and it was really cool. But
it was really a hokey setup for DDP versus Hacksaw, but
it was different. It worked.
The way they sold it, the way they worked it, the way DDP was literally almost strip searching everybody. It was funny.
My hope is, because we've seen DDP for a few weeks now, you know, he comes out, he has his match, hits guys with a diamond cutter. I would like to see him in a quest for a title at this point. I think that, and perhaps it's where the booking is taking us, but I feel like he's one of the most enjoyable parts of Nitro week in and week out because he puts on a consistent match, he talks, he's got his character down, and everything he's doing is great. So I like this DDP fella. I feel like he might be able to be a world champion one day. On Raw's side, I really enjoyed the Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. It was a cool build.
What a strong opening.
Yeah.
Because that match could have taken the whole show. Like,
Definitely.
They were just beating the crap out of each other. And you had Jim Cornette and Jose Lothario on the outside.
Michael's trainer. And Marty Jannetty also had Leif Cassidy,
yes.
who we know as Al Snow.
And Leif Cassidy, a.k.a. Al Snow with a mullet.
Yep, and Marty Jannetty looked like he was the lost Steiner brother in his singlet. It was very interesting. I think, for me, and maybe this is because we've seen these guys for a few weeks in a row, I think Nitro had the stronger match with Harlem Heat against the Steiner brothers.
Yeah.
But, I mean, those guys just are consistently, those four guys.
Yeah, you can put them on every week, and they're going to be, if not the top, one of the top matches of the night. Definitely,
and they work really well together. The insertion of Colonel Parker into the mix, that was like it was the one thing that I felt kind of stupid because I'm like, oh man, it was such a great match and that dastardly Colonel Parker ruined it. And I'm like, that's exactly how I should feel.
Yeah, that's good writing right there.
So,
but yeah, it was interesting angle. You know, Booker comes out on the cell phone and they're like, who's he talking to? And lo and behold, a new manager?
Yeah, because they had Sensational Sherry, or Sister Sherry as they were calling her for a while, but they looked to be inserting Colonel Parker into the mix there. As far as Shawn and Marty, it was probably I wouldn't have put it on as the opening match. I love the fact the world champion is in the opening match, and hands down, Shawn was the best worker on the roster, so, you know, yeah. But I don't know, I just...
Well, it's such a strong storyline, though, you know, best friend, tag team partners, pitting against each other. The Vince and King were really selling the heat and the hatred and the betrayal and stuff, so it was good meaty, sink your teeth into it kind of storyline. And
I guess, looking at it, the goal would have been put Shawn on first. You're going to grab people from the to get the ratings. You're going to, hopefully Shawn brings them in and they stick around for the rest of the show.
Right.
Because it's like they've got a tag match opening. But again, a belt was on television. It was defended, Graham's DQ finish, but you know, so that was really cool. I do want to make mention of this. We have yet to see the United States champion in action at all.
I don't even know who has the belt.
It's Conan, because remember we saw the promo that he did. He has yet to have a match. Whereas we've seen the Intercontinental Champion twice.
Yeah.
I think.
He had a match at the pay-per-view.
No, it was Goldust was champ, and he had a match, and then Ahmed Johnson was champ and had a match. But yeah, I wanted to point that out because I find it very, very odd. Whereas we're seeing the Giant, who's the world champion, in action like every single week.
Yeah, that is weird. Maybe he's hurt, and they just don't tell us these kind of things.
Maybe he had a match at the Great American Bash because he had that promo leading into it.
Right.
But just something I noticed and wanted to make mention of. We're seeing more of the Glacier promos.
Yeah.
The hype is real. I'm excited for that. On the other side, we saw some, Superstars footage with Sonny and, Phineas Godwin.
Yeah.
You didn't like this segment at all.
Well, it was just classic dumb, romance, but not really romance angle where the woman is a bitch and then the woman gets slopped.
Yeah.
Which thankfully doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, that was really...
But the whole, I love you, Phineas, I love you, say you love me too. Oh, say it louder so everybody can hear you. You're a piece of shit and I hate you and I'm gonna slap you. And it was just, what a waste of time. I hate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was... Oh, we completely forgot to mention... we saw Scott Steiner execute a Frankensteiner.
Yes.
Which is impressive for a man that size to just do the jumping Hurricane Rana. But he almost broke Booker T's neck.
Booker is very large.
And very tall compared.
He's much taller than Scott, so it was a hell of an attempt.
He was still holding his neck and head for the entire time because I was like...
He was kind of, not quite all there walking around outside of the ring. So.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure we brought mention to that because it's, again, man, there's a reason these guys are on TV every single week.
Yeah.
They should be featured. I, again, would like to see a push for Scott. Really say, we could do something with this guy.
Right,
He's
especially
got what
because of his match with the Giant and just how much the crowd was behind him.
They were there for him. We also finally got to see Rick's VIP table in use.
Being used. So, because of course,
Woo!
Rick has it set up every week, whether he eats from it or not.
Yeah.
There's plates of food, candlesticks, champagne. This is the first time anybody has been sitting there using it.
Yes. It was just...
The first time we saw it, anyway.
Yeah. It was a beautiful moment to see these people around this glorious spread enjoying themselves.
What I really loved about that is they go around, they interview everybody, McMichaels, and they get everybody's opinion on whatever. But they get to Rick, and he stands up,
and he's and
he starts yelling and screaming and woo! And
Eugene! Woo!
Rick, you're at the dinner table.
Because
sit down.
I want to point this out because it's so weird to talk about it, but Chris Benoit had the best line because they're talking to each of the horsemen about what they bring and how the horsemen are back at full strength, and he's like, the crippler, silent but violent. And I was like, holy shit, that's a great line!
That's a great tag, I love it.
Yeah, and especially with his style and how aggressive and just I was like, that is great. Whoever came up with that's some good shit right there. I was impressed. Can we talk about what I felt was the perfect moment for Nitro? Another stop on the Shake Your Booty tour. The Disco Inferno against Kurosawa. I can't lie, I loved everything about this. It was the best thing ever.
In the first episode, you said that before this series is over, Courtney's gonna get on that train.
Happen.
I'm walking up to the station. I'm not on it yet, but when he used the disco ball as a weapon.
The best part was the disco ball started coming down, and you got on the edge of your seat, and you were like, "Please let him hit him with the ball."
He was calling for it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was.
Because Kurosawa was being distracted by some Elvis,
fat Elvis-looking guy. Yeah, that was.
So he's like, "Give me the ball," and he hits him in the back with it, and I was like, "Shit, that's awesome."
That is the best. That is the best thing ever.
But an odd place to put it, because if you're switching over after Shawn and Marty,
You're seeing
that's
it
what
just
you
going
get.
yeah. So for that's a little weird for sure. I will say this much though, because coming out of Shawn and Marty, you had Mankind against Duke the Dumpster Droz.
Gee, I wonder who wins.
Well, and that's kind of my point, because I feel like with the Disco Inferno versus Kurosawa, okay, neither one of these guys are stars. They're low to mid-card talent at best.
Yeah.
But you know Mankind's gonna win. You know Duke the Dumpster Droz is a jobber.
Yeah.
So looking at Disco Inferno and Kurosawa, there's a little bit of like, oh, okay. But like, you know what's gonna happen. You know Mankind's gonna win. And yes, he's intriguing in terms of his character, but I think it was a smart move. Yes, weird to switch from a Matt classic with Mr. HBK himself, but it's a little more like, well, okay, who is going to win this?
Well, Jake the Snake was on commentary for the Mankind match as well, and just the things that were coming out of King's mouth towards Jake, I would have switched if, like, Jesus and the devil
were having the
match, because I could not take the kind of shit that he was saying to Jake. Just completely out of line, knowing that he was literally going through, substance abuse and alcoholism and...
Well, and a lot of that...
Every single thing that King said was a jab against Jake.
Did they have a physical altercation? I don't believe they did. I think maybe I just wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe that's where they're going. They're wanting to do like a King against Jake feud. But...
It was too much.
Yeah, it was a little much. And, on the other side, again, we're continuing with this awesome thing that we opened with DDP against Scotty Riggs with a diamond cutter, patting random people down as he's coming down.
And then he starts, like, checking his tights and stuff.
Well, as he's coming out, he's, like, checking stage hands and stuff.
Yeah,
and
the camera guys.
It was really, really, really cool. And I liked it a lot. On the other side, we got more of the 900 number, Why is the Warrior in the Doghouse? Which, maybe I wouldn't have paid my $1.95 per minute to find out, but I do appreciate the existence of this,
Well, and it was probably just like a pre-recorded or something. Like, did you actually talk to somebody?
I don't know. I never called. I never put down my $1.95 per minute.
So they probably didn't even have to pay somebody to sit there at the phone. It was just
It was probably JR's voice being like, the Warrior is in the doghouse. or it's probably like, hello everybody, this is good old Jim Ross, and we're here to talk about Ultimate Warrior and what might be happening with him being in the doghouse. Like, cut in somebody else's voice.
But make sure it lasts at least 5 minutes.
Exactly, There's just building on that anticipation. So, as we're starting to go into Nitro's second hour, they're advertising a return of Greg the Hammer Valentine against the Macho Man, the Randy Savage. The Macho Man, Randy Savage. On the other end, you've got Goldust versus Wildman Mark Miro. Stone Cold Steve Austin on the commentary table.
Yes.
This to me, and again, having the benefit of this being 20 years later, Stone Cold and his interactions with Vince, we're starting to kind of see a chemistry there. At least I feel like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's really development of the Stone Cold character, because Vince would say something and Stone Cold would be like, what?
What?
not literally.
Not literally, yeah. But he was dropping...
He'd start tearing Vince down a little bit.
Well, let me tell you something, son.
Yeah, calling him brother. I don't run like that, brother. And, yeah. That challenging the authority that eventually became his...
what defined the Stone Cold character. So that was cool. I really like that WWF is consistently bringing in superstars on the commentary, because we kind of criticize them for a lack of like backstage stuff or interview segments,
Right.
but they're finding a way to insert guys.
Kind of multitask.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, they understand that they're working with an hour of programming, and it's really good. You know, kicking back to Nitro, they kind of open with John Tenta, or excuse me, no, it was the Macho Man and Greg Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of know how this was going
Right.
before it does, but Macho.
That damn Macho.
Yeah, but he wrecks the VIP table, which was really, really cool. That was just a really neat moment. I also liked the promo that Eric Bischoff cut regarding Nash and Hall, saying like, you know, we're not going to be intimidated, we're not going to be scared.
Right.
You know, we've got Sting, we've got Lex Luger, we've got the Macho Man. They're not afraid of you. Nobody's afraid of you. Oh, and I forgot to mention this at the start of the show. Way to go, fucking Larry Zbyszko, being all like, New World Order! Like
some kind of New World Order. It's like, damn it, Larry.
Yeah, because all night what we kept hearing over and over again is, you know, the third man, the third man. It was so bad, we did not realize this was the go home for Bash at the Beach until the second hour, where they actually said that Bash at the Beach was Sunday.
Yeah.
An entire hour, they did not mention that it was coming Sunday. I mean, granted, you're probably aware, much like today's shows, you know, you watch Raw, you have a general idea, like, okay, this show is X many weeks out or whatever, but...
Well, yeah, but if it's the Monday before, that's generally all it is. It's the pre-show.
And just talking about it over and over about how it's coming, how it's coming. We got another Glacier promo. But as we're seeing a backstage...
That's 2 Glacier promos.
Yeah, you know, we she's very excited for this Glacier guy. His blood runs cold. But what we did see, and this may have been my favorite moment of the night, you know, you get to see Nash and Hall coming through the crowd. They've got popcorn, they've got sody pop.
They're coming in, you know, Bischoff and Brain, they think, oh no, they're coming to kick our asses, and, you know, security goes to stop them, but they're paying customers.
They're paying customers. They got the tickets.
They have tickets to the show.
You know what else they brought to the show? Spooky fingers. Like, that was the best part. Like, he showed him the ticket, and Hall's all like, ooh.
We have a right to be here.
Yeah, that was so great. And they're sitting there eating popcorn, and you know they're just talking shit. They worked this in organically. They had an empty seat between them, and they were like, they're saving that for the third man. And it's like, they're very large.
Yeah, they're just manspreading.
They would be like... But, you know, that was really cool. We went into what...
And they even took shots of them in the audience, like...
Yeah, like, where is he?
Where
You know?
is he?
So that was cool. We went into what I thought was just awful. John Tenta versus the Giant. The Giant took a bump.
He did.
Which is kind of cool. You know, it seems that's like your standard for the Giant. You might get one bump out of him, which is smart. I think it's a good way to protect your champion.
Yeah.
They shaved off half of Tenta's beard. I said it once, I'll say it again, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about this story. I don't care about this build. I don't care about John Tenta. I don't know why. And maybe it's because I've just literally seen like the heels kick his ass and get the comeuppance on him
and he
every
still
week.
has the half-shaved head. It's like, if somebody did that to me, I would just finish the job.
I've been taking it as kind of maybe that's his way to...
Be not intimidated?
Yeah, I'm not scared. See, I'm embracing this. Kind of like when Ricky Steamboat, Jake cracked his head on the cement and he's like, I got a haircut so I can look. I'd take these sunglasses, you know, so maybe that's what they're going for. But the problem is John Tenta has yet to say anything like that.
Right,
He's yet
and they
to
just
do
shave
that.
half his face and it's like...
Again, I don't care. I don't care about
this. Like
this.
he had a blue ribbon gold medal beard or anything. You're not gonna like tear down the world because you shaved his face.
And his hair, he's bald except for the skullet. So
yeah, it's not like the Vince and Trump hair match. You know, they both had a lot of pride in their hair.
Yeah,
it was just You're just being mean.
So this was a real throwaway match for me. We start to see a really cool Rey Mysterio promo, but Hall and Nash decide to insert themselves again on the microphone. There's some trash talk, and this was a cool moment. The locker room empties.
Yeah, to defend WCW against these outsiders.
Yeah.
So it was a real good visual representation of the dichotomy of these two bad guys and all the good guys in the locker room.
It was cool because it was pretty much the WCW locker room. We saw baby faces, we saw heels. It was cool. I liked it a lot. I also enjoyed Nash as security's taking him away, being like, Attica! Attica! Because, you know, it's like, he's just having fun. Like, so many of those guys are probably, like, legitimately trying to be, like, wrestling about it, and it's literally Kevin Nash just having fun.
Macho jumps at them like a dog.
Yeah, Macho's the best part of it because he makes it work.
Beat the shit out of them.
He makes it feel real to me. You know, everybody else is kind of like hold me back. You know,
but he actually breaks through, and I was like,
yeah, it's cool. We did see a resolution with DDP's missing ring. Hacksaw Jim Duggan found it in the shower.
It was
he found it. So, I don't wear jewelry like this. I'm not like you, DDP.
But of course, DDP comes along, sees him with the ring, and before poor Hacksaw can explain, he beats the crap out of him.
Yeah, so that's leading to their match, which is pretty cool. You know, in the
a taped fist match.
A taped fist match.
Oh no, wait! DDP doesn't beat the crap out of him. Hacksaw.
Yes.
Tape fist punches him. I don't know.
So
pulls it right out of his trunks too, right out of his package.
Yeah.
It was.
So we got
some ripe tape. Sorry, it was just like, oh.
He put a little Famundo on that tape. But so going to the main event, you know, you've got the Rock and Roll Express with Jose Gomez and the Renegade against. They're back at full strength, the Horsemen, and
a little early for that.
Well, you know, the Horsemen. Again with this match, I was like, okay,
yeah.
You know, it was cool to see Rick in action because again his presence or position on the card of being in matches and stuff, well, I feel like was missed.
Yeah.
You know, he had a presence on the show, but he wasn't really working much. So, you know, it was kind of cool to see that. But, of course, the biggest thing, Hall, Nash, the Outsiders, driving away in the Corvette. Because, again, I didn't care.
With the top down, of course, because they could not fit in a...
Seeing Nash get into that convertible in the first place was amazing.
They couldn't fit into a hard top.
Yeah, but you know, so again, they're driving away to go to the bash at the beach because you know the main event for me, meh. Yeah. I just, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but WCW feels like they're looking for something, like they're missing a piece that's gonna just push their programming over.
Just waiting for it to fall into place.
Yeah.
Possibly this Sunday.
Yeah, so, you know, overall, like we do here every week on War with Words, we declare a victor for the week.
Of course, in the ratings back then, Nitro did win, staying at a 3.3.
Yes.
And Raw fell under.
Yeah, it was a 2.6
or something.
But I do want to point out, that's almost 6 million people watching professional wrestling on a Monday night.
All at once.
Which is pretty cool when you look at that. You can't say that anymore, you know. But who do you have for this week? Who do you give it to?
I'm actually gonna stay with Raw this week because I feel like as an entire show, it brought more. It felt more like a wrestling show. There was no like big overarching thing that they were just kind of throwing stuff in the middle to get to the big overarching thing. Bless you.
Excuse me.
And opening with the Shawn and Marty, it was just the big, did you see that match talking piece?
Yeah.
You know? And Stone Cold commentary. I feel like they brought more to the show itself.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know that International Incident's coming up on the 21st. So I feel like it brought more to me. It was more well-rounded.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I will go with Nitro, though.
Yeah.
Really, and like I said, there are so many matches on the show that just I'm not invested in or I don't care about because it just feels off. It doesn't feel like there's anything there. That being said, I feel like they have enough to counteract that. The presence of Hall, the presence of Nash being dispersed, you know, throughout the show.
Kind of like you knew that people weren't really watching the matches, they were waiting to see what happens next with Hall and Nash in the audience. Because they did keep panning back to them.
Yeah, and I liked that than just like stick them at the end of the show and that be it. You know, so I like that a lot. I love the DDP stuff, the Steiners and the Harlem Heat, the Glacier promos, the Disco Inferno segment was fun. I liked Eric's impassioned speech. The Macho Man match was a quality match.
Yeah.
The locker room spilling out. I liked that. Yeah, so I go with Nitro. There were definitely, when there were weak moments, they were weaker than Raw. But honestly, with it being 2 hours, I feel like they can get away with a little bit more. They can have more of those weaker segments because they know, oh, don't worry, if we have 5 weak segments, we got 5 strong segments, so it balances the show out.
Yeah.
So I go Nitro. Let us know what you guys think. Who won this week for you, and who's winning so far? What are you looking forward to the most? Like we've talked about, you know, Scott Steiner, DDP, the emergence of Mankind, and just overall...
And Gold Dust.
Well, guys, I think that wraps us up this week on War with Words. You know, as always, please like, subscribe, share, and comment on the video.
That's right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep up with our wacky backstage antics.
Check out our other top 10 lists that we've got. We will be unveiling a brand new list here soon in honor of the WWE Draft, the top 10 things we would like to see return to the WWE post-draft. Well, guys, as we always say here on the show, if you're going to be a fan,
bring a friend.